Okay, now we're going to get into soil color. Soil color is a study of various chemical processes acting on the soil. These processes includes the weathering of different materials, soil chemistry, and the decomposition of organic matter. Other aspects of these include climate, physical geography, and geology. All of these influence the rates and conditions under why we get that soil color that we see. Soil color can be used to distinguish and identify different soil horizons, and also they can be used to group soils. But how the soil actually gets its color are mainly a part of weathering. Color is also affected by the environment. In different aerobic environments, this produces different colors that change because in aerobic environments, it's very dry, right? So these colors are going to drastically change as well. And in anaerobic environments, and that's environments that lack oxygen, this is where very wet environments occur. This wet environment disrupts color flow with complex, and it usually has leaves these speckling, different speckles. It could be like black and gray speckles. That is called mottling, and that mottling usually occurs in those anaerobic environments. And then depth can also play a toll here, and that with depth below the soil surface, the colors usually become different, lighter, yellower, or redder in color. Another way to interpret the soil color is using the type of mineral content of the soil, that parent material. That can also be a good identification key when looking at color. Organic matter also influences the color of soil. Soil has living organisms and dead organic matter, and this decomposes into a dark black humus or humus. And it's very darker in color. So if you see a lot of, the O layer and the A layer, that O layer is mainly organic matter and it is very dark. The A layer, sometimes mistaken for the O layer, often is darker as well because we have a lot of organic matter here. So if we have a lot of organic matter, you can see that our soils are going to be more richer and darker in color because of that organic matter. A lot of our areas with a lot of loam and clay are going to be darker in color as well. And areas with a lot of heavy rainfall is also going to be darker um, also. In grassland soils or prairie soils, the dark color um, also it goes through different surface layers, and bring with that has high nutrients and high fertility. And that all goes back to the amount of organic matter that's in the soil as well. Now I put all soils are brown, right? Question mark? No, that is wrong. Soils vary. So there's red, brown, yellow, yellowish red, grayish brown, and pale red are all very good descriptive colors of soil, but they're not exact. But it's really neat that we can get the exact color, and that's through the Munsell system of color notation. And we're going to be utilizing that next week in lab. And just as paint stores have pages of color chips, soil scientists use a book of color chips that follow the Munsell system of color notation. And that gives us, from the color of the soil, that will determine what kind of soil it is. So it's very neat. It's like going to Lowe's, like I said in here, and going to Lowe's, trying to pick out your color, paint, and everything. You get a nice paint chip. Here, we do the same exact thing, but with soils. So the Munsell system, color system, allows for direct comparison of soils anywhere in the world. The system has three components: the specific color, the value or the lightness and darkness, and the color intensity. And these are arranged in books of color chips. Soil is next held to the chips to find a visual match in that, and when you find that visual match, you'll be assigned a corresponding Munsell notation. For example, brown soil may be noted as hue value chroma or a 10 year 5/3. So now we're just going to get into different colorful soils throughout the US. The first impression we have when looking at bare earth or soil is definitely the color of it, especially, going on different road trips. You're in the car, you're on the freeway, and you're looking around. And I don't know about you, but I'm a big soil freak. So I look at the soil. Soil is very fascinating, but definitely the first thing that catches your eye is the color. And the color is really important, at least for this area that I selected here. And this is the red desert soils in California, Arizona, and Nevada. And it's actually the Arizona state soil. So that's that red desert soil. And we also have gray desert soils, and that's in Idaho, Utah, and Nevada. And then we also have white sands in New Mexico and green sands along the Atlantic coast and red beds in Texas and Oklahoma. The Red River between Oklahoma and Texas carries red sediment downstream, particularly in times of flood. And then the Yellow River in China carries yellow sediment as well. And then we also have surface soils in the Great Plains and the Corn Belt that are darkened and enriched by organic matter.